Alright guys, first of all, why do you think people watch video testimonials? I want you to think about this as I'm talking and explaining what I'm going to explain in this video. The reason I'm creating this video is to give you the chance to collect great video testimonials that when the potential clients watch these videos, they are going to be moved psychologically and they're going to want to work with you. Okay, that's why video testimonials are there. They're not just there for social proof. They're not just to show loads of people talking, past clients that you've worked with, that you've got clients, you've had clients. They're there because of why they're there in the first place. Why people are going to watch those videos, potential clients are going to watch those videos. They are seeking information, they are seeking answers, and that's what I'm going to explain in this video. There's 3 pillars that you need to move them through psychologically. And how do you do this? You can't script it. You can't force people to say these words in your video testimonials. It needs to be authentic. It needs to be genuine, but you can do it just like in sales by asking the right questions. So I'm going to teach you what those questions are. You can frame them however you want, but I'm not going to give you those questions straight away because you need to understand what the psychological pillars are. And there's 3. It's very simple. We're going to get straight to the point and we're going to dive into the first one. So the first pillar, right? You guessed it. Well, you probably didn't guess it. I don't know. You might have. Pain points. Okay. Now, I know if you absolutely hate sales, you hate the idea of being salesy, sleazy, whatever you want to call it, you're going to hate the idea of the word pain points, right? But it's true. You know, with your target audience, your dream client, if you've identified that by now, you know that they've got problems that they are struggling with. They've got deep pains, as in emotional feelings about those problems that they are struggling with. Now, how do you get your client that's had the success, because hopefully you're interviewing them at the end when they've already achieved X result and they're happy, how do you get them to identify and talk to those people that are currently experiencing those pains? Because the people watching that video, they don't want to be just told about the dream outcome, because they're going to be constantly thinking, well, maybe they were in a better situation than I am, maybe they were, had a better starting point. They just don't want to hear these success stories. It's great to look up to idols that are already successful, but you want to know, you really deeply relate to the people that were starting off where you're starting. So that's what we need to start with. And I'm going to dive straight into it. I'm going to give you the type of question I would ask. I would ask, before you came to me, what were you struggling with? What were the problems that you were trying to solve yourself? These are the different types of questions you can have. Like, there's loads of different ones depending on what your service is. But if I was in the fitness space with PB Academy, I would always start off asking, before you applied to work with us, what were you struggling with? Like, what was the problems you were trying to solve? And then they ramble on then. And the beauty of it with a video testimonial is, obviously, it's not about editing it to make it seem a different way, but there's a lot of fluff. I'm saying fluff like ChatGPT. There's a lot of fluff that people would usually come up with that's irrelevant, that I would chop out, that other people that maybe didn't understand marketing or the psychology of what that potential viewer is going to be like, I would cut it out, because there's no point having a 5-minute video testimonial if it's not doing anything for you, for where you're going to use it to get new viewers, new potential clients through the door. So what you're looking for here is they're going to ramble and they're going to go off on a tangent, but hopefully they're going to cover the same problems and pains that those potential clients that you want to work with are feeling right now. So instantly they're going to be hooked in, just like a piece of content on social media. They're going to be thinking, this guy gets me, this person gets me, they're struggling with exactly what I'm struggling with right now, and this is why I'm here. So it keeps them watching a little bit longer. So that's the perfect way to hook them in, because they're talking about pain points and problems, right? The second thing that we're going to talk about, dream outcome. Okay, so this is almost like an offer framework itself. The way we're going to get there, and the reason this is important, first of all, the reason the dream outcome is important, because people need to feel like you are going to get them the dream result that they want. And it's not just about making a little bit of progress, it's about actually achieving the desired result they really, really want. And that's going to get them emotional again. So you're flipping them now from highlighting their pain points and problems to now, how do they feel right now having achieved X result? And how do they feel right now in this moment having been there? Because they are on top of the world in that moment. So a prime example we would do this on our shoot day, where we'd have the summer challenge, we'd bring everyone down, and I would have someone that would be hired as a videographer just for video testimonials, and they would be given this script, they'd have the 3 questions, and they were doing it for me. I wasn't even doing it myself. And they would ask them something like, How do you feel having achieved X result or whatever result it is? Did you ever think you would get here? Something like that. Something to spark the emotional thinking around, you know, how great this feels right now with how much doubt they probably had prior, how long they'd been trying to get this before and failed. Like, that's going to just unlock those emotions for them to speak about. And again, they'll go off on tangents, but there will be gold dust in there. And video testimonials in itself is hard to get. It's much easier to obviously get just written reviews, or even, you know, screenshots of messages when they message you when they're in a good mood. A video testimonial is absolutely gold because it's a piece of content made by someone else. That is the best social proof you can have. It's going to increase the trust, but if it can speak in the right way to that person that's watching it, if it's on your proof page, for example, your landing page, and they're thinking about applying to work with you, and then they see this video that like relates to their pains, talks about the dream outcome, how they feel right now, they want that feeling. They've seen multiple people talk about this transition of going from I had these problems and now I have this result. That's the type of question you want to ask then. And then the final question, right, and this is arguably the most important, that's going to give them the nudge. It's almost like a CTA in a piece of content, a piece of video like that, and this is going to be on the fence. And the reason we ask this question, right, and I'm not going to tell you what the question is yet, I'm going to explain why it's important, is because at this point in the video, people are like I said, on your proof page, if you've got a social proof page or a landing page where you collect leads through, and they're watching this video testimonial, again, they're on the fence right now. If they've scrolled down to the part where they're watching video testimonials, they are not convinced entirely by your video, your VSL. They're not convinced by your offer 100%. They're looking for more information. They're looking for that trust to push them over the edge. And this is the CTA subtly that's going to do it without someone else literally telling them, go and apply now, you won't regret it. You ask them, how long were you thinking about working with me? And what actually made you finally take that leap? What would you say to someone else in your situation? Because there will be people in your situation right now. What would you say to them? And you're trying to pull it back into their shoes. There's probably a way you can script this and write this a little bit better. That is what I would say. I'll read out the exact question I would ask. What would you say to anyone else that's on the fence about thinking about working with me? It's a subtle CTA, and it's absolutely fine for you to say in this question itself, what would you say to someone else in your shoes that was on the fence about working with me right now? Like, and then finish it with like, how did you feel when you were thinking about it for a while, and what made you finally take that leap? I've been more than surprised by the responses that people give, because they know what you're doing. You know, they know why they're doing this video testimonial for you. They're happy to do it for you because they've had great results, and they will say stuff like, absolutely do it, 100%. I had doubts before. I was thinking about it for a while. I didn't know who the best coach was to work with, but this experience has been absolutely unbelievable. Like, imagine that coming from someone else's mouth, listening to that person on your landing page, on your proof page, listening to it right now. They're like, oh, why not? I'll try it. It's going to nudge them. It's going to give them that CTA. It's going to give them that push. So those are the questions that you need to answer. And again, we always want to think about in real format people's attentions. I try and get my video testimonials squeezed into 60 seconds, if not at worst 90 seconds, right? That's the maximum you need, because anything longer, you will have a long 5-minute video to edit, but you need to cut it down. And that's why you need to know what's important to actually cover. And these are the things you're looking for. So if you get this right with your video testimonials, and it is all genuine, it's all authentic, yes, it's edited because you need to cut out the stuff, otherwise people are never going to watch it all. So you need to do that for your business. It's still you being real, but it's coming out of their mouth, and it's the stuff you need, and it's why it's placed in your proof page on your landing page to push them over the line. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you get better video testimonials, because getting them is hard enough, but then collecting them when they're not going to do any work for you is even worse. So make sure you ask the right questions, and this will definitely help. So yeah, if you want to know all of the systems, I'm not a business mentor, by the way, this is just the things I've learned through scaling PB Academy to over 250 active clients. We built the team. All the systems we use to train our own coaches up, get all the courses for free on our school community. All you need to do is click the link below and apply. It's invite only, but it's free. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you in there, and you can also suggest other videos, other topics you want as well. And I will see you soon. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'll see you soon.